Hello, friends and family. I'm back again for another Wednesday night report. We had a great service, and Sister Joy led us through a teaching tonight. And she shared about a time where she was in a really toxic work environment. I mean, her leadership were being bosses and bullies. Her employees or coworkers were just really rude to her. Uh, it was just not a good place to be working. And she shared the journey and that how at some points she felt like giving up and throwing in the towel and just quitting and walking out. But she wanted to treat this in the right and just way. So she sought a lot of counsel and leaned on God for how should she handle this experience. And one of the kind of key themes in her story is that throughout each of the injustices that she would face, she would continue to lean on God, no matter like how shitty things got. She would try her best to lean on God for help, getting her emotions out with her circle of people, her counsel, her fellowship, her mentor. And then another thing I thought was really cool about her story was theme wise was that she focused on forgiveness to people who were wronging her and loving them, which I think was amazing. It's much easier to try to, as the kids say these days, get your lick back when you are wrong. So great story tonight, Joy. Thank you for leading us through that teaching. Joy's discussion question was for us to share about a time where we were able to keep a good attitude in the midst of a very stressful situation. The story that I shared was about a time where I was at a job as well, where the company started off really, really great. Employees got along well, money wasn't an issue, business was going great. And then one day, things turned around. The environment and the economy changed. Business wasn't going so great. But throughout the whole experience, I kept a really great mindset, not because I was happy that this was happening, but because I knew that in the end, justice is real. So if I focus on what I could control, keeping a good attitude and being a great worker and trying to deliver results so I could keep my job, that no matter what, it would shake out in the end. And that helped me to go to work every day with the same attitude that I had when the job was going good. But what happened was some of my coworkers, I think because they didn't have the tools that we have, they were responding really poorly to this really crappy situation. There came a point where, at one point, I was told by one of my coworkers, you just act like everything is perfectly fine. And the reason why you're not stressed out is because you don't even have to worry about getting a job. Like, pretty much what they were saying was, you're set. And I remember telling them, like, whoa, like, first of all, we're in the same boat here. But I got to share myself that, I choose to focus on what I can control. I can't control if the company stays alive, but I can control the type of work I do and the quality of work, and I can control my attitude. Why have an even worse attitude if the ship was already going down, right? So great lesson today, Joy. Thank you for sharing. Everyone in our community had excellent stories to share. I like talking about Wednesday nights because they're like mini TED Talk sessions. They're not what you would think of as normal church. And so I invite anybody, especially you Indiana folks who watch these videos, to check us out one of these days. It's a virtual service. We do about 10 minutes of a teaching, and then we spend 20 minutes sharing on a question. And then we end with a prayer service, which is one of my favorite parts of the whole week. Thanks for listening, and I'll look forward to talking to you next time.